snap, you've got one guy going boom, the other guy going whap, and the guy trying to run it in for the score, and he's going nowhere.
I'm really out for blood this time, look. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. Heard they was sleeping again, say it no more. This is a rude awakening, kicking the door. Back and I'm better than ever before. Don't get it mistaken, I'm ready for war. I see the option, I'm up in the score. I catch a and jump in the course. Follow the core and the back to the morgue. Take the sheet off and I some more. When I am done at the scene, I won't leave anything. You won't even know who was involved. Don't let me do it, cause I overdo it and do it till I cannot do it no more. All of the dallas, I'm proving them wrong. Back with the classic, I know it's been long. Heard it was missing me while I was gone. I smell the victory, back up on time, and it's where I belong. Like it ain't to me, we making history. Fall through the misery, weather the storm. Can't let them get to me, no weapon form. Should prosper, be all over my roster. I got options, I keep it right on the dresser. Next to the Oscar, applying pressure, somebody stop us. Woo! Applying pressure, somebody stop us. Running my concert, go need a doctor, go need a doctor, go need a what? I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. So now they on my body. Made it to the top. Ain't no way that they can stop me now. They gon' say I joined the Illuminati. I got demons all around me. Tell me what they know about me, huh? I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
Yeah. So that style not for you, but it's for me.
Greenfield's finest. Boss.
Yeah.
DJ Drama.
Never let a wishbone grow where a backbone should. Belly been tell you the dash all wood. Thin payments, the back end good. Got sense, but they act no good. Shot through the lot of the starstruck. Hop in the ride and we took in the truck up in the truck and they all. They might say what's up when they see me.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll keep our eye on A.J. Terrell, who's been stepping up to challenges all season, now at 8 interceptions. It's the Falcons and the Saints on EA Sports.
To weather this time, Week 8 matchup on tap here between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start, but I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they can get it.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30, the 40, 20, 10, 5, and they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Falcons.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
Throughout his career, few have doubted Jameis Winston's ability to throw the football. The concerns, they've always centered around his accuracy and taking care of it. When he makes good decisions on the field, excellent numbers usually result.
Jameis going to look to throw right away. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Arnold Ebiketie in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
The start less than ideal as they already face a 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Winston forced out to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
.43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native, Oregon Duck product. Of course, that's Marcus Mariota.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, it's going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Mariota. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. The numbers for Pitts in that game a week ago. 4 catches, 62 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
He completes it to Jones. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
The opening drive, it continues, Charles, to be all pass, and it's working. Now they're on the doorstep of a touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to run it? Do you want to continue to throw it? Spin the dial, make your choice. But right now, you like what you're doing in this possession.
Mariota now. This is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Drake London with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us to rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Now Winston. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Winston. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. taking on the midfield logo. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top two teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A first down throw for Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Edwards. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. The end result, 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now Mariota. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown Atlanta. 2 yards on the touchdown there, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter, they're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they've put up, I'm not sure what you're saying on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this league could become.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 16 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Tommy Townsend now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. A very good return that time. 18 yards.
And it will be Falcon football.
So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Mariota's throw taken in by Edwards. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. And we're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media will start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
From just shy of midfield, Mariota. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Mariota to throw it. Got London on the slant. Touchdown! Marcus Mariota with his third touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Falcons are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big stroke like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown catch from Drake London. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? If it was to bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. The Saints on 3rd down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Kamara, try to run for it. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. This is taken at the 15. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Falcons back out, getting set for this next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
23 yards, the final tally.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Mariota on first down. The left side completion to Jones.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Marcus Mariota, 37 yards. And the Falcons have taken a 6-touchdown lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points.
Coup for the extra point.
And the route is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And this one too low.
Dropped incompletions on first and second down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on fourth down.
But they got off the field on third down. Excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over.
Well, the Falcons now are going to go on offense late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That's good for 28 yards. Yeah, with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. .23 yards on the tuck and run.
No shortage of impressive moments for him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11.
Mariota. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Marvin Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
Coup now for the point after.
And the route is on here in this first half. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, we'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Final play of the half here, Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where it was the Panthers who were able to come away with the home victory. Christian McCaffrey, well over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run as well. Next, we head north to Philly. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they trailed the visiting Las Vegas Raiders. And that one's gone to halftime. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Terry McLaurin, a touchdown reception. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And this tells the story right here. As a unit, negative yards passing through 2 quarters of play. That is something you almost never see. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts. As you can see the numbers there. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3.
And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Jameis Winston of the Saints ready to go back again on offense.
And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Here comes the Saints punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Pete Werner.
And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. To throw, Winston.
And he'll get this one underneath.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota
at their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught by Jones. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mariota.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will finally put an end to the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they start in the best of all positions, first and goal. Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Following the interception, Winston. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Saints take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Oh, this is blocked. The foul. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. 30. 10. 5. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Well, I think there was a lot of surprise from the kicking team there. After the block, they kind of froze and then realized, oh, wait, they can return this. And they returned it all the way.
And you know why they froze? Not often do you get that second sound, right? There's the kick, you hear that, and then there's a second thud when there's a block. That's when people freeze and they have to realize where the ball is. They picked it up and took it the other way.
This will be fielded inside the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. Winston. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. D4 coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
4th down, so Jameis Winston is off. Matt Gay is on for the field goal. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. Gay's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Roughing the kicker, defense.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Automatic first down.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. He'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Winston now. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. And now the rookie's free. He's at the 40, the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be third down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Winston from the gun on third down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
That good for 19 and a first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
The throw over the middle, taken in. Touchdown, Falcons. Brian Edwards, 50 yards. And the Falcons are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Koo for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They run right side with Hunt. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots...
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
But just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side, all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston.
Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Jameis now on 1st down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. They'll throw again. Winston.
That's complete to Troutman right side. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing, Winston.
They'll set up the screen to Funk. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. To throw is Winston. And Winston lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. Does the big boy have the juice? And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown.
Coup now for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Well, the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. On third down, Winston. And now here is another interception. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. To throw again on second down. Winston got a man. That's Richie James. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On first and 10, Winston.
He completes it to Olave.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Winston. And nearly another interception. Well, it would have been his third of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on. Again, it's Winston. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. Here's Winston. He finds his man, complete. It's Weber. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And oh, it's blocked. The Falcons have it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points. That is a play that you just do not see very often, maybe a couple times a year, the blocked extra point return for 2.
You can't afford to give anyone a free run at the kicker. Oftentimes it's going to bounce off his hands or chest and head the other direction.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taking it about the 1. Oh, good return up past the 30. Past midfield. The 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Coup for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. One last shot now for Winston. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time is run out on this ball game. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw.
So for the Falcons, they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. So that style not for you, but it's for me.
Greenfield's finest. Boss.
Yeah.
DJ Drama.
Never let a wishbone grow where a backbone should. Belly been tell you the dash all wood. Then pain is the back end good. Got sense, but they act no good. So I do the lot of the starstruck. Hop in the ride and we took in the truck up in the truck and they all. They might say what's up when they see me around the city, but really no reason to talk much. Dinner a nice guy, but no nice guys here. I'm toe tagging, no Bilbo bagging, y'all coming up short. Take a recess. This a heat check. Yeah. Shorty let me quick as a clear with a pre-check. It's lifestyle not for you, but it's for me. Seen it myself for years. The vision is mine alone. Just me, myself, no peers. Yeah. I don't know who hyping them boys. I'm done giving life for the noise. I give you my life in the source. I don't even write anymore. Yeah. Get it and drove like it's whipping a stove. That break hard like habits. No days off. No.
It's alright, man. Cool. I be going there like deposit. You don't really brag about it when you know you got it. Real hard to read a nigga hooked on phonics. Say a lot of things and never catch like Sonic. Zoom, I'm gone. When the members on and get it going Donkey Kong. They got the hand dollar, will you give a dog a bone? I'm like, oh no, you gotta get it on your own. They get an attitude, I'm like, you better check your tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating this, a party wanna come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Everybody wanna kill the king, or you shit wanna take the crown. I can see through it like a stomach with a other sign. When I hit the gas, I be going like 100 miles. They be getting tired, running out like 100 house. All up in my business, real nose it like a bloodhound. I'ma throw them off like I'm standing on a picture mound. All they do is look at Instagram while they sit around. Hate me in real life, but you liking pictures now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style, they be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm a brother, keep it now. Mike Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now. Cool, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating this, a party wanna come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister.
It's week 9 of the 2023 season, and we'll keep our eye on A.J. Terrell. He's been one of the NFL's best ball hawks this season with 9 interceptions. It's the Falcons and the Bears under the lights on Monday night.
Bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Atlanta Falcons and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they're halfway home, looking good, and a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9?
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time.
They'll have a former Heisman Trophy winner calling the shots, hailing from the island of Oahu in Hawaii, Marcus Mariota.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
To the air right away, Mariota. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take...
There he goes, left side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Now the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. A short kick taken at the 18. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage. Our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Now Herbert to start the drive. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Herbert. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Now the Bears' 6th-round pick in 2014, Pat O'Donnell on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today. Right. So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And some room to work. Touchdown, Falcons. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Koo now for the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Starting on the ground with Herbert. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Fields. And his throw is incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. This is taken at the 23. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. 125 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards. Scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Now here's the option play going left, and he gets in. Touchdown Atlanta. Marcus Mariota keeping it himself from a yard out, and the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0.
Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Fields. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. To throw is Fields. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Arnold Ebiketie in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Here's Pat O'Donnell on now to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
133 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
Mariota on 3rd and 2.
This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. You got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
And look at this. He's going to keep it.
4th and short in this part of the field. You just notice special teams coordinators rallying the team saying, watch the fake for Brandon. Don't they usually say that on every punting situation?
Oh, yeah, they can be up 40 in the 4th quarter. That's their job. They scream that every time.
And this time, though, his team locked in, and they were well aware that it truly was a situation that they could fake it. And they were ready for it and stopped it.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Fields going to keep it once more.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 21-0 our score after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9.
Back to throw, Fields.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
The Falcons ready to take over.
And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
From the 39, Mariota. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A give right side now to Hunt. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. On second down, right back to Hunt. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
3rd and long here for Mariota. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. Touchdown, Falcons! Marvin Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Falcons are able to add on to their first half. Coup for the extra point.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Chicago offense set to get started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Fields now to throw. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And the Falcons grab it. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll run with Hunt. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd down, right back to Hunt. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run, not a huge gain. So a nice chunk of yardage. 140 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Mariota to throw it. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They run for it with Hunt, and he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Didn't get the touchdown, but a big first down, and now they're 6 feet away from the end zone.
And a little bit of momentum as well. To get down to the 2-yard line, 1st and goal, playbook's open now, right? What do you want to call? You want to call power? You want to call quarterback run game? Do you want to throw the ball? The entire playbook is available for the play caller.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run again with Hunt. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Kareem Hunt with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Falcons open the lead up to 34-0. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Coup now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 6-play drive. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there. Those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Fields. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Out of the gun, Fields. Going right back to Knox, and again a completion. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again is Fields. Steps away to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half, now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap.
This is intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half. And they'll start with a short field following that turnover as they look for points here before the break. Following the interception here, Mariota. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
First down at the line.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Lamar Jackson leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Zach Pascal, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Derrick Henry, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And they've had their way running the football well over 100 yards already as a team with 2 more quarters to come. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the rushing numbers tell a different story. They really couldn't get a whole lot going on the ground. And the evidence? The numbers. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be. But halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. A fairly short kick from the 14. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out and take pride in your work and try and put something together here in the second half.
On 2nd and 7, Fields. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Arnold Ebiketie able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields.
And that is incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he fields it cleanly. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
Hunt will try going up the middle.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 161 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Uses the stiff arm.
Rocky Sin there to make the tackle.
That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammate?
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And the Bears are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, still throwing here with a big third-quarter lead, but that time this defense gets a measure of revenge.
One of the few positive moments they've had on either side of the football, really. Things have definitely not gone their way, but maybe their offense can seize on this and put some points on the board.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
Here's the option going left on second down. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Now it's Fields.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at about the 28. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards.
And it will be Falcon football.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal is not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on third down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had them on the ropes there. Third down incompletion, fourth down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to first down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Fields. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Here's Fields.
He completes it to the tight end, Knox.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. On first down, it's Fields. They try to find Sharp, but it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota
at the 31-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Hunt.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Alexander Johnson, the one to drop him. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
And the Falcons first down.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Hunt. And he's got room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kareem Hunt, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Falcons add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
5 plays there on that drive. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears now ready to take over again. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fields looking for Knox on the crossing route. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Now a first down throw. Fields. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Arnold Ebiketie in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
On second down, right back to Hunt.
It's a room to maneuver. There he goes, right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Koo for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. It only took them 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting them in for 6 points. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, here's Fields. Finding a safety valve here. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Koo now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Fields finding space at the 40. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
It's a gain of 21 yards. That's good for the Chicago Bears.
Fields on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is going to be stopped up at the line of scrimmage. And we'll have a stoppage as well as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw again on 2nd down. Fields looking sideline, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Again, Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Chicago offense set to get started. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Nick Needham picks it off. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick six.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Koo for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and worked for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board. Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. His throw incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
To throw is Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on.
Offense.
Orlando Brown, the former Raven, the guilty party.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20.
Fields throwing again.
Out to his left. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page
quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And some space here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
And one last throw here for Fields.
And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Atlanta, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year.
And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington Commanders.
Got your best friend hanging out the arm though. Got game like I'm dropping me a console. No, I don't swim, but I give up. Now flex. While you there looking the best, feel to get up in your chest while I soak up my success. Getting tokens for your stress. I be making all the checks anytime you see me step on a stage. Acting real soft like my skin coming beige. Gonna step out and with him, girl, you fake. Try to get it out, what you handsome. You ain't dance on. Tell your boyfriend, go and put your pants on. Down. The best friend. She went and did the same thing. I'm really mad, but she won't know. Everything has gotta be cool when we living so cold. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chillers in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting I'm gonzo. Headed where the homie live, cause it's on though. I was chasing 3 women like I'm Mojo.
Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to raise the bar, how to go large, how to take it too far. Let me show you how to show up and show out and surf the crowd. Trust me, you ain't never seen nothing like this. You ain't never been to a show like this. I'ma get forever. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes and